Hi, my name is Cheyenne Silva, and I just got out of the shower, just woke up, and I don't normally make YouTube videos talking about anything at all, but I have something that I experienced myself. I had kidney cancer that was caused by mold, and the reason I found out was literally God. Like, there's no other way. I was exposed to ochre toxin, and it's a mycotoxin. It's a byproduct of mold. I like to say it's kind of like the poop of mold, and it's invisible. And it was on my ice machine. It's a really expensive ice machine. It costs like $6,000. It came with the house when we moved in, and this ice machine has a part that you're not supposed to open and you're not supposed to clean. We would clean the ice machine every month or every 2 months. My husband was always cleaning because I was always on him about cleaning it because I had a thing against it. And there was a part that you couldn't open, and you really have to like unscrew some things to get to it. And this part had mold, and the mold that was on it was some form of aspergillus, and which is the same mold that makes ochre toxin. So aspergillus makes ochre toxin. And I tested the ice machine, then I tested my body, and I had 10 times the allowed amount of mold in my body for this type of mold. And it was just this type and another mild thing on another one, which could be from the same thing. And if I had a house mold problem, I would have had different or more mold exposure from different types. So once I received the test that I tested my body, I read that it causes renal tumors, and I knew right away that that's what gave me kidney cancer. Then I started researching, and there's no studies on it because it's inhumane to give somebody mold to test it out. But there's a couple of studies on some people that live in the Baskin region that had kidney cancer and they were exposed to mold. And I have a whole theory that I'm developing. There even like a frog study, how some frogs have kidney cancer because they live in moldy areas, under water that doesn't move and all of that. But that's my theory, not the study. But anyways, so I found out that that's what caused my kidney cancer. And once I stopped drinking the ice, my levels of ochre toxin dropped from 24 to 4. And I'm giving a very small summary of what happened to me. Like, there's so much more, and I could do a way better job in getting depth of what really happened to me. But the reason why I wanted to do this video and I want to come out is because I've really used to watch David Wilcock on Gaia in like 2012. I would watch all of his series, and then I forgot about it, and I never saw him again. Like maybe in the last 6 years, I don't think I've seen anything from him. And then the other day I saw his video, and then he died. And I was looking at the stuff that he was talking about it, and there's all these conspiracies and things, and which could all be true. But what if they know something that we don't know? What if they know that if they make this person, if they put some type of mold in their house, or even it could have just happened, but because some people are disappearing, like what if it was purposefully done to him? All the signs that he was saying was things that I had myself. Mold will affect your thyroid. I had panic attacks. I had anxiety attacks. I couldn't drive because I would panic. I literally called the ambulance because I couldn't breathe. And I was the happiest person. I've never had that before I moved to this house. Like, I never had any panic attacks. I don't have anxiety. And once I stopped drinking the ice, I got better again. Like, I've never had a panic attack. I can drive again, And I was having all this mold takes over your brain, and it gives you fear. And I can see how somebody could self-inflict themselves if they're exposed to it. It can really affect your mental state. So the thyroid problems that he was having, the dry skin, all the symptoms that he couldn't figure out what it was. And I really think was his house making him sick, and he just didn't know. So I just want to come up and real quick and just share my theory with some of you. I don't think anybody will even watch my video because I'm a nobody on YouTube, so it will be really hard for anybody to check me out. But if anybody sees it, I believe this is what killed him. I have a huge post that I made on Facebook that went viral, and I believe what's killing us is the convenience of convenience of ice, convenience of appliances that we have on our houses, or ACs. When do we actually like service our ACs or do maintenance? I mean, we barely change our filters once a year, if that. Nobody is really like checking these things. Nobody, and then we're like locked. Mold always existed. Yeah, but we open our windows. It's the particles inside of a closed house compared to an outside where the air circulates. It's completely different. So I think convenience is killing ourselves. Keurigs, coffee machines. I make coffee machine old style. I drink the old style. Like I have a percolator and I do that. But like water filters, water coming from your refrigerator, those lines, nobody checks and nobody changes the lines of your water filter. So I think the convenience, even AC on cars, but I think the convenience of these appliances and all these things that makes our lives easier are really what's killing us, because this gives us a lot of exposure to humidity and mold. And I also have this theory that I've never shared with anybody. So if you're crazy enough to last this long, I want to share this with you. So you know how they say that people used to live 700 years and so on. I'm not a expert on that. This is just, I know just mildly over the subject, but they used to say that we used to live a lot longer. And they say too that change after the float. So Portuguese is my first language, so sometimes if I don't come up with the right word, it's because English is my third language. So anyways, but after Noah happened, that's when life expectancy dropped significantly. And they used to say that it almost never rained before. So rain wasn't a normal thing before. And then after the float happened, we have rain all the time. I'm from Brazil. Like for us, it's like every day. So what if before there was not mold? What if before that event there was no mold? The atmosphere was dry and ideal, and we didn't make this invisible killer. I call the mycotoxin the invisible killer because you don't see it. It's not visible. You can see mold, and mold is not bad. What's bad is what produces, which is invisible. So what if after that event we were given humidity, and humidity, it's what rotten us. It's what made our life expectancy be a lot less. So that's my theory, and I believe that's why we live a lot less. And I think that if we control mycotoxins, that we could live a lot longer. I believe also that mycotoxins is what caused my cancer. Obviously, I've said that, the ochre toxin. And people say, well, they think that cancer is parasites. I don't know if I can say these words here, if I'll be banned, but people say that cancer is parasite. And because once you're dead, that thing keeps growing. There's studies that they've seen that the tumor will keep growing. But I'm going to give you one question, like almost be done. But anyways, what is one thing that when the subject is dead keeps growing? Mold, rotting, that keeps growing even when people are dead. That's actually when it thrives. You know, it wants us to die so it can rotten you out and bring you back to nature or whatever. So I really, going back to why I made this video, I really believe David Wilcock was being exposed to mold. I know it sounds like it could be a conspiracy and this and that, and maybe somebody know this and like expose him to the point that he would go so crazy and self-harm. But it could have also just been a coincidence, and he's been living on that house and having all this health issues, and he didn't know that he was being exposed to it. So I believe that the reason why I wish they could do a test on him, but if not on him, they can still test his house and see the levels there. I think you would find some answers if you check that. So that's it. That's my quick video. I have a lot more to say, but I've never said it, so I will start small, and nobody probably watch this anyway. So anyways, thank you. Bye.